Hi there, and welcome back. We're here live from AU with another Facecast. If you've been tuning in to our Facecast so far, I hope you've enjoyed them. We've had a chat with Chris Bradshaw, the Autodesk Chief Marketing Officer, this morning. We talked to EJ Sabathia and one of his colleagues named Guy with the Moon Express organization. They're all about landing a rover on the moon. Fantastic stuff. Check out the recordings here on the Facecast page. But this afternoon, we've got a real special treat for you. I am joined by Jeff and Piotr. Jeff from CG Architect, in conjunction with some of my colleagues here at Autodesk, just ran a design competition. And those of you who are interested in 3ds Max, you're going to really love this. So the winner of the design competition is here. And his designs are going to be featured on the next box of Autodesk 3ds Max design. So with that, I will go ahead and turn it over to Jeff and Piotr.
Great, thank you very much for the introduction there, Chris. So I guess those of you who aren't familiar with 3ds Max Design, it's a software made by Autodesk that is used in the architectural visualization industry. Is one of the industries they target. It's used to create the visualizations that architects and designers use in their presentations for design studies, to get approval within the industry. So it's a really powerful software that is used by quite a bit of the industry. In fact, about 2 years ago, CG Architect ran a survey, and we found out that 87% of the people in the industry using 3ds Max actually said that they would had more chance of winning a bid if they used 3ds Max Design in their projects. I guess it was about 3 months ago or so we launched the Design Hero competition in collaboration with Autodesk. It was a contest that they approached us to create because they wanted to find the next hero image for the next version of 3ds Max. That competition had the one criteria of using the 3ds Max Design logo, and you had to integrate that in a really unique and innovative way into the scene. We received a ton of really amazing entries. I think we had over 200 entries over the course of the couple months that it was open. The winner that I've got with me today is Piotr. Welcome.
Hello.
So your image obviously was the winning image. Maybe tell us a little bit about your image and how you came about deciding to do that scene here that we see behind us.
Well, when I heard about this competition, I immediately decided that I had to take part in this competition because, first of all, I'm very fond of 3ds Max. I was using it for a very long time, and also because this general guideline for this competition to integrate this logo into this scene, it was somehow very appealing to me. And when I started to think about different possibilities, different ideas for the image, well, I very quickly decided that my image should be a little abstract, somehow connected to architecture, to design, but in a non-specific way, so that it shouldn't be a very detailed scene showing a very detailed building or interior or an industrial design product. And I had a lot of concepts for different images, and I started sketching these concepts, first on paper, then in 3D Studio Max. And surprisingly, the concepts that I thought were the best when I started sketching them, they turned out to be much less interesting than expected. And this winning concept, it was one of the first ones that came to me, but at the beginning I rejected it because it just seemed too obvious.
When you first started the design process and doing your sketches, was your initial instinct on the one that you actually liked most? Is that the one that you ended up using in the end?
Yeah, it was one of the first concepts, but I had lots of them, really, maybe 100.
Yeah.
And but somehow it was just obvious. I thought that everyone would do the same, just extrude the 3ds Max logo into a tower. But when I made a sketch of this concept, and I tried different camera angles, well, somehow it looked quite good. I think it looked eye-catching, and also the balance between the logo and the rest of the scene was quite good. So I quickly finished this image because the deadline was approaching.
Yeah.
And in fact, this image is very simple. It took just about 2 days to complete in total.
Gotcha. How long did, or how did you get into the industry? What is your background?
Well, at first when I saw the first renderings coming from the first software in the industry, I was so amazed by these first renderings. But at the time there were no schools teaching 3D graphics, so So I started studying architecture because it was probably the closest to 3D graphics. But very soon I also found out that I wouldn't be a good architect, that I don't like to, design buildings. I prefer to render them. And very soon, maybe at the age of 18, I started doing some architectural visualizations.
So do you do strictly architectural visualizations now with your company?
Well, I try to also do other things, some industrial product visualizations, sometimes also some TV commercials.
Yeah. And you use 3ds Max for all of that?
Yes, for everything.
Yeah.
So
What sort of features do you find most useful in doing all of your work?
in 3D Studio
Yeah,
Max.
yeah.
Well, I tried some other packages, but for me, 3D Studio Max is just the most user-friendly, and also it's so logical, versatile, and it allows the user to make a lot of things very quickly. And on the other hand, after using it for so many years, I still somehow find new things about it that I didn't know before, and also I enjoy the amount of available plugins and scripts.
So how's it going to feel with the next release coming out? You're going to be opening up 3ds Max and seeing your image every morning when you open it up?
Well, it will feel great.
Great.
I'm very happy about it.
Great. What advice do you have for other people that might want to get into the industry and start using 3ds Max?
They should watch as many tutorials as possible. There are so many sources of inspiration right now all over the internet, so I think it's much easier to get into this industry right now than it was 15 years ago. And if someone likes it, then he should go for it.
Great. Thank you very much. Chris, I think we're going to maybe do a little bit of Q&A, so I don't know if we have some questions from the...
Yes, we have a couple questions, actually. What is your favorite aspect of the design that you made, and why?
I think the colors are interesting, and also this dynamic camera angle. The way the logo, well, the logo is very clear, but on the other hand, there are a lot of reflections, so it's not very obvious. I think that's what I like about it.
What was your inspiration for the design? You only had a couple days to complete it. How did you come up with the idea in such a short period of time?
The competition was actually open for quite a while, so maybe how long were you working on your image?
Well, maybe I had, I think, over a month for the whole process. But this image, I started working on it only a few days before the deadline. So as I said before, it took me only 2 days to complete. And it's, in fact, it's a very simple idea, just a tower made of glass, some, high-tech building, but not very obvious. And on top of it, the shining logo of 3D Studio Max.
Did you create the whole design using 3ds Max, or did you use another product as well?
Well, the image was rendered using V-Ray, and of course I've also done some post process in Photoshop.
What is your favorite feature in 3ds Max?
It's hard to say what is my favorite feature. I think
The teapot. The
what?
teapot.
I think this parametric way of modeling everything, and I also like the material editor very much. So there are a lot of things I like about 3D Studio Max.
This is a question for Jeff. Can you tell us a little bit more about CJ Architect? Some of our viewers are not familiar.
Yeah, you bet. So CG Architect's been around for 10 years. We're the leading online user community for architectural visualization professionals. We just celebrated our 10th year anniversary in August of this year. So we've got a huge online community. We've got a forum. We have hundreds of thousands of posts, hundreds every day that get posted. We've got articles and news items, reviews of things going on in the industry, coverage of events like AU. So yeah, it's pretty much the biggest and only community that exclusively covers architectural visualization.
And it's global?
Yeah, absolutely. We have, I think the last time I looked at our Google Analytics, I think there was all but maybe 2 or 3 countries in the world that haven't visited. In fact, we get around 200,000, 250,000 unique visits every month.
And how do our viewers find out more?
They could go to www.cgarchitect.com.
That's great. I think that's all for questions at the moment.
Okay. Hey, guys, thanks a lot. I think this was really illuminating. The design is fantastic, and I think everyone that's opening up their 3ds Max design software in the next year is gonna enjoy looking at it.
I think one thing we should mention too is the nominees, or rather the runners-up, are all going to be posted on the 3ds Max Facebook page. So make sure you're going back. They're posting a new one every day. So go back every day, like the page. You can find some really cool images.
That's great. That's great. And on the Facebook note, we are doing another of these Facecasts tonight. It's going to be really exciting. We've got Amar Hansball, the Senior Vice President of this whole AutoCAD thing that we've got going here, and Marcello Martino, a customer who has made some amazing designs, including sunglasses and whatnot. In fact, everyone here at AU has a pair of sunglasses that he designed special for AU. So we'll break those out for you tonight. In the meantime, come on back to our Facebook page. Tell your friends to come and join us this evening, 7 p.m. U.S. Pacific time. And as always, our recordings of these Facecasts are posted, so you can check them out whenever you want. Thanks, and we'll see you later.